Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shadow bringing you guys another video, and of course it's going to be another Blackbeard deck list as requested on the videos that I've been uploading. Obviously we have a whole different meta compared to the East due to this new starter deck, so I'm going to show you where I'm at with my list. Might make some tweaks to it, but I mean, maybe you guys can make some suggestions in the comments and we'll see from there. But as always, selfless plug, you guys have code SGTCG for 5% off on Dueling Guard. They do got a lot of new stuff like Nami deck box, Law, some Pokemon stuff. You can use it on whatever you'd like. Save some cash, why not? If you guys want to see different type of videos, comment down below what you guys would like to see. I'm always down to make different types of videos. You guys have seen the vlogs. I might have a vendor video coming out depending if I can edit it. But without further ado, let's get into this deck profile video. Alright, without further ado, getting into the main man, we do have Blackbeard himself. I do not have any on plays, and I can pitch a card to be able to negate my opponent's on play abilities. It's a different play style, very annoying for my opponent, but I just love playing it. But getting into the first card, we do have Lafitte, running this at a 2 of, and the main reason for that is because I'm running a lot more cards that are not searchable, so I don't want to whiff them as much instead of running a 4 of. So I cut Lafitte down to a 2 of in the deck, so if I see it, is able to find me the other Blackbeard pirate pieces of the deck that I am able to find, really relying on stage for the most part. On to the next card in the list, we do have a 4 of Caribou. This is a new OP11 blocker. It is also a 2K. It has an on-play ability, trash 2 cards, but again, Blackbeard has no on-play abilities, so Caribou, I'm not trashing 2 cards from hand. It's a chump block, and again, 2K counter. This is one of the cards that Lafitte cannot search, so that's the main reason why I'm running at a 2 of. I do see this quite often, so very good card, very good chump block compared to Vasco shot. 2 Dawn for 1K counter. 1, it's just not searchable. On to the next 1-drop in the list, we do have Katarina Devon, one of the new cards from the starter deck. It is activate main. Trash this character, you can give something -1 reduction on the field. Kind of like Stronger, but you don't have to pitch another card. And if your opponent is able to get rid of Katarina Devon, you do draw a card because it does have an on KO draw 1 card effect. So currently at a 2 of, I like where that's at. And again, it's a 2K counter as well. So reduction and counter, what else can you ask for Katarina Devon? On to my last 1-drop, of course, we are running a 4 of Stronger, searchable, 2K counter. It can give -2, but you do have to trash this card and one other one from your hand. However, you do draw 1 card, so you get to replace at least 1. But do like to play this in situations where I need at least another reduction and only have 1 Dawn. Stronger does come in clutch with that. If not, 2K counter. We are running basically 10 2Ks compared to the normal 8 that I used to run, or 7, because I will only run 3 Shiryu, so kind of beefed up on the counter a little bit more. But the whole aspect of the deck that I'm running is control. So onto one of the cards that I do use for control, and that is going to be Doc Q. So I did take the card out of the last list and was trying Turbo Burgess. I just didn't like it too much. If my opponent built the board too fast and I couldn't control it, obviously it's kind of chopped. Especially now with the Secret Rush Luffy, they are able to just bounce Burgess back to hand, so it just kind of defeats the purpose. So obviously Doc Q is an activate main, rest this character, pop a 1 cost or less, so that is why you're going to see a lot of reduction in the deck. And then of course on KO draw a card. So a 3 of, because I do run obviously the 7 cost each, so I don't need to bump this to 4. And of course it's a 1K. I do see it quite often, especially with how much I am able to search in the deck. On to the next card, probably the best card in the deck. Obviously it's going to be Burgess. For every 4 cards in trash plus 1,000, it just gets beefy. You can get up to 12K. I've had it up to 13, obviously. No doubt, but very great card. You want to establish this, but again, this can be removed from the field by effects. Can't be KO'd, but there's a lot of removal. UP plays, sometimes Grab Blade, Red Rock, and it has that 8 cost Secret Rush Luffy that can bounce a 4. So very vulnerable in this set, you know, in my opinion, depending on who you're facing. So yeah, Burgess is definitely one of the win cons of the deck, obviously, and pretty much the main one that I want to get established. But the whole basis that I am running on now is control. So I bumped Laboon back to a 4 of. Obviously, Laboon is an activate main. Rest this character, give something -4. It can bring 5 costs to a 1 cost, and Doc Q can pop it. So early game pop with the Doc Q. If not, utilizing this for late game, you're able to bring 9 cost to 5, and if you have an Augur on the field, reducing it down to a 2 of. But have it set 4. Again, this is not searchable, so that's why, again, we have Lafitte down. I want to see Laboon as much as possible for reduction. If not, that's why I want to see the next card, which is ban Augur. Same thing as Laboon, activate main, rest this character. It is giving a -3, however, so that's the only drawback. It does swing for 6k, it costs 1 more to play, and it has an on KO of a draw 1 card. So have both of these at a 4 of, again, for the reduction aspect of it. And again, we have 4 of Stronger and 2 of Doc Q. So essentially 14 cards for reduction. And again, the popping pieces, we do have Doc Q and 7 drop Teach. So, and on top of it, we are running 4 of Kuzans, which basically doubles all these cards, because Kuzan is able to bring back a 5 cost or less Blackbeard Pirates card. So it can't bring back Laboon or Caribou, but it can bring back the Augurs, the Devons, the Doc Qs if I really need to. You know, you're going to see that in one of the gameplays today. I have used this to bring back a Doc Q, but activate main, trash this card, draw a card, and play one from trash. It comes in active, so that's a big thing. Typically I do pitch a card that I do want to play, set it up in trash, and then bring it back with Kuzan. This can also not be removed or KO'd, so this gets around the Grab Blade and Red Rock issue that I am running, so kind of just be more weary of before procting the Kuzan ability. And next card in the deck is one of the new starter deck cards, and it is the other Kuzan. So it's a 6 cost, 6k Kuzan blocker. On KO, can bring back a 5 cost or less rested Blackbeard Pirates character. So this can bring back Kuzan. Then your next one, you can use Kuzan to bring back anything. However, it comes in rested, so even though you block with this and you decide to bring back Kuzan, you know, it can still swing into the Kuzan and you just lose out on this ability. So typically, very rarely do I play this Kuzan out, but when I do utilize it, most of the time aiming to bring back Burgess, because by that point, late game, Burgess is probably like a 8, 9, 10k per, you know, hopefully. And if they want to swing in the Burgess, they're gonna have to establish Don. So that's where I like to use this Kuzan in that, you know, what if case scenarios. Not much else to be said about that Kuzan, but the next card, probably one of my favorite cards out of the starter deck. I was very skeptical about it at first, but we do have the 7 cost Teach. So running this at a 3 of, because again, I am able to search it off of Lafitte, Stage, and Myra Begins. And I don't want to see, I mean, 4, I could run it at 4, but I can better utilize it for counter or more reduction. This is an activate main, rest this character, pop a 3 cost or less. So it's what I wish Doc Q could have did. But this is a 7/8, no counter. On KO, can grab any black card from the trash. So I can basically grab itself back. I can grab a 10 drop Teach that I possibly pitched for ability at some point. You know, you can grab whatever you like that you absolutely need to use in the deck. And this is where the control aspect comes into play, because if I have Laboon and Augur set up on the field, you know, 7 drop Teach is removing any 9 drop that's being played, and UP Luffy wants to play, you know, Sanji to Linlin, and of course I'm pitching for leader ability when I know they're going to hit their 9 Don turn, so they can't do Sanji to Linlin. So if they want to, they're going to have to play one body at a time, and I'm going to be able to remove it. So that's essentially the setup that I was aiming to have. And this makes it so much easier to reach a lot of those bodies that was harder to reach with just Doc Q. So it just takes a little bit more setting up, because I need to make sure I set up an Augur and a Laboon prior to establishing this. Because if I just see Augur to here, At best, I can remove a 6 cost, maybe an 8 cost if I have stronger established on the field also. It just depends on what my opponent has. So obviously, other than the 7 cost teach, we are still running a 4 of 10 cost teach. Could probably get away with cutting this and maybe adding in something else, maybe another Devon 2K counter. But I obviously want to see as many teaches as possible. And of course, 7 drop teach on KO is able to find me my teach again if it is knocked at any point. Biggest thing for me, like again, as I've been saying, is Red Rock. I've been losing to UP because obviously once they're at their 8 down, they are able to look at top 5, find the Red Rock, and just bottom deck all my cards. So really, that's the only obstacle. Other than that, Buggy really running around. Buggy is a big menace for teach because they could just play whatever they want at that point, not losing their 10 drop. But yeah, bread and butter blocker on play, not on play. Activate main. You can choose your leader, one of your opponent's leaders, and one of your opponent's characters. Nullify their abilities, and their characters cannot attack or use abilities until the end of their next turn. So, goated card. Obviously, you want to just chain the 10 drops for late game, pretty much going for lethal at that point. So, onto my stage. Obviously, we are going to run the stage at a 4 of. We want to see this stage. This is our way to cycle and search. Activate main, trash 1 card, rest the stage, and then you look at top 3 for a Blackbeard Pirates card. I do sometimes whiff this card because, again, we have the Laboons, we have the Caribous, so I have seen hands where I've seen all of those and no Blackbeard. So it does happen, but very often than not, you are going to hit with the stage, and more often than not, you're just trying to build stage up anyway for Burgess to be able to swing big, because this is the way to fill your trash other than leader ability. Also, cycle stuff out to be able to find your counter for late game. Next card we have in the deck list is My Era Begins. Running this at a 4 of, obviously 1 cost, search top 3, find 1 card that's not My Era Begins, and it has to be a Blackbeard Pirates. Take that, the rest go to trash. Again, another piece of search engine in the deck. So basically giving me 10 search cards, 1 that stays on the field consistently, 1 that they're going to want to get rid of. If not, I'm basically getting free cards for a Dawn, and this can get triggered out of life to be able to search and fill the trash up. And for my last 2 cards, I have 1 ofs. I do have 1 black hole. Out of life can nullify your opponent's character or leader ability, but also it does 4 Dawn. You can nullify an opponent's character for their abilities, and if it's a 4 cost or less, you are able to pop it. Again, with reduction, you are able to basically get those bigger cards down to it, but it's just there for a 1 of currently. Maybe I'll add another one of these. Maybe actually add another Liberation, because there is a lot of GP starting to run around now, and that goes into my last card, is a 1 of Liberation. This checks original costs of 6 and 4, so even if they are buffed with like a stage or leader ability like black purple, this will get around that buff and will just KO straight costs. So I could possibly see myself adding another Liberation in, maybe cutting I don't know, maybe a 10 drop. I haven't really decided yet, but I've cut Finger Pistols out from the list because there's a lot of cost base addition and pretty much big bodies. So, and that's why I revolve heavily around establishing the Augur, Laboon, and being able to pop with the 7 cost teach. And again, early game with Doc Q, if at that point I've already established board control, when I've established my teach and there's nothing to pop but I still have a Doc Q, your teach is able to KO your own character cards, because it does not specify your opponent, so you are able to KO your own characters. So again, if I have a Doc Q on the field, I can use activate main teach to pop my own Doc Q to get a draw. So this does open up a lot of different plays to Blackbeard, to kind of give yourself more options and clear your board, get cards. But this is where the deck list is currently at. If you guys have any suggestions on what to try, comment it down below. I personally like the deck list. I'm gonna keep playing it. I've kind of started dabbling with Green Yellow Law as well. But always gonna love Teach, and this is currently where it's at. Again, any suggestions, drop it down below so I could tweak the list. But again, more control base is where I'm kind of at currently. But without further ado, if you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.